It's a warm welcome to Global Classroom on UN World Environment Day. The focus of this session is one global planet, where we will explore how each and every one of us is interconnected to each other and also our environment. The foods we eat, the air we breathe, and the water we drink, and also the climate that makes our planet habitable. It all comes from nature. You see, it's time to wake up. It's time to take notice, to raise our voices. It's time to build back better for people and the planet. Let us go together in this time on a journey now as we explore and share ideas about one global planet.
Our world is facing unprecedented challenges right now. A global pandemic, a climate emergency, and a refugee crisis, to name just a few. And while all these challenges take different forms, all of them require the passion, creativity, and urgency that young people bring to the table if they are going to be solved. We need leaders who embrace what comes naturally to young people. The belief that you've never achieved it all, and that there's always room to grow your passion and explore new parts unknown.
I do agree. I live in one of the most magical places in the world. I grew up in Indonesia, specifically on the island of Bali. Indonesia is one of the second largest source of marine plastic pollution in the world. So we decided to take action. And it was as simple as that, honestly, Andrew, from just seeing something in our local community, a small action that we thought we could do was stand up for our island and start taking action by creating a movement to say no to single-use plastic bags. We've become a living example that kids can do things. Me and my sister started at 10 and 12 years old, and that means you can too.
My question is, do you think COVID-19 will be with us forever like the common cold, or more like the Spanish flu and go away?
Oh, wow, Charlie, thank you, and hello. This is another important question, and one that epidemiologists, virologists, scientists, and doctors are working right now really hard to answer. We do unfortunately think that COVID-19, the SARS-CoV-2, is here to stay. Coronaviruses and influenza viruses that you mentioned are some of the most complicated because their genetic makeup is of RNA, or ribonucleic acid. RNA viruses are known to rapidly mutate and change over time and as they move through mammalian hosts. Sometimes these mutations make them more virulent or deadly, and sometimes less. So we're really grappling with this question right now as to how we can reduce the transmission rates and try to reduce those risks of transmitting this new virus across human populations. So the honest answer is that we think it's here to stay, and we're not quite sure what the future will bring with SARS-CoV-2. Thanks again, Charlie.
Animals need an environment, one that provides food, water, and shelter for the animals to survive and grow. We call this the animal's habitat. So different animals require different habitats. But what happens when an animal's habitat changes? Some organisms will thrive. Some must move away, but others will die. The more and more that people are on Earth, the more we need land for farms, homes, roads. Our Earth is very large, but animals live here too. So when people use more and more land, there's less space for animals in the wild. And when humans build roads and homes, it can split those animals' habitats into smaller places, making it very hard for animals to access food, water, and shelter. And if this happens, the animal population will decrease.
Look at the map of your environment once again. Remember where you saw the animals in it, and begin to think through, Do you think that your home, your apartment, your building, or other human structures around you have impacted the animal's habitat? And what can you or your family do to protect those animals as their habitat changes? Write down one action that you can take that can improve the environment for those animals in your community. For example, you might want to make a bird feeder like this one with peanut butter and birdseed. Maybe you can work with local officials to help protect those animals or to help them move from one place to the next safely. Or maybe you can just plant a tree.
One area of health that I want to explain in more detail is the concept of One Health. When we talk about One Health, we are looking at the connections between people, animals, plants, and the environment that we share. It also means that we have to work as one. So that is why the World Health Organization works closely with the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations and the World Organization for Animal Health. We work to design ways for people, farmers, food producers, and governments to work together so that we are all safe and healthy, especially when it comes to what we eat.
Earth moves at its own pace. It moves by seasons. So we in sustainable and regenerative agriculture, we work with the earth at Earth's pace. And I add the word regenerative to that agriculture because it's one thing for us to think sustainably, which has to be environmentally sustainable, has to be economically sustainable so that I can pay my employees. And then there has to also be a social aspect to it as well. So the community itself has to benefit from us doing this farm work. So speed is not necessarily the farmer's friend. What we want to do is make sure the earth is regenerating while we work. So instead of just taking fruits from the earth, we're making sure we're putting energy back into the earth through composting, through biodiversity. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. People don't go crazy. People don't go mad. People don't forget the superpowers we all have. We were born to love, not hate. We can decide our fate and look for the good in everyone and celebrate all our mistakes if there's a silver lining, you still have to find it, find it, find it. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Everyone needs sunshine. Everyone needs rain. Everyone is carrying around some kind of pain. I see who you are. You're just like me. I see you're searching for a purpose, guided by a dream. I see who you are. I'm just like you. And I get lost sometimes and I forget what I came here to do. So I keep on trying. When it gets frightening, look for the good in everything. I try to look for the people who will set me free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone.
In your song Back to the Earth, you sing about living in harmony with the land. What does that mean to you, and how do you live in harmony with the surrounding nature?
Thank you for asking. I walk mindfully on this earth. I tread lightly on this earth because I know that the earth gives us so much. So it's important for me to give back to the earth. And that's what that song really is about. It's not necessarily leaving tour and just going back to the farm. It's really about giving back to the earth. How can I help steward the earth